All right. So you've probably, if you've been watching the news, you've been hearing about the housing market is rapidly declining and home prices are going down, and you know, basically to expect home prices to depreciate within the next year or so. And once again, I'm here to let you know that when they talk about that stuff, they're talking about national statistics, and there is no such thing as a national housing market. So I wanted to pull up a couple of articles here just to kind of show what I'm looking at, and then actually show you kind of what it looks like from our local market as well. So this is from CoreLogic, and they just say there's continued deceleration in August. It says that there is actually a 13% annual gain in August. So that means from August 2021 to August 2022, home prices have increased in price or value by 13%. But when you compare that from July 2021 to July of 2022, that's down because it was 15.6% previously. So, um, again, home prices are still up. Just be careful with what you see on the headlines from news articles. But what we're looking at here, and I wanted to show these charts, is they actually showed, let me see, that's not the right one. So it shows the summary of monthly changes using seasonally adjusted data, which is SA here, and non-seasonally adjusted data, which is NSA here. And as you can see here, every market, so they just have a composite, and they're showing the national market here, that the national market is down basically 1% from a seasonally adjusted time period from July and August compared to June and July, where it was down 0.5%. And once again, you're down 1% or 0.5% in a month. That's actually very different for the location that I primarily serve, which is the Cleveland market. And that's showing that we're basically even. We're at 0% for July and August, and we were actually slightly up in June and July. And that just goes to show that, once again, the the national housing market, so to speak, does not exist. And that makes sense if you think about it. Like, I mean, of course, house prices are not going to go up and down by the same percentage in New York versus California versus Texas or Arizona or Ohio or Montana or anything. Every area is different, every state's different, and even every city within that state. And then you could even get hyper local, like Cleveland. There's different parts of Cleveland where you're like, okay, are we talking Garfield Heights? Are we talking East Cleveland? Are we talking Lakewood? Anything like that. There's going Tremont. There's different parts of Cleveland that are going to vary drastically, and that's why, sure, you can just take these numbers, but take them with a grain of salt. Anyways, Cleveland is not really going down as you see there. You could see September 2022, the top 20 hottest housing markets. Not that Columbus is anywhere close to Cleveland, but we have Columbus as the fifth hottest metro market. We actually have Akron as the 17th hottest metro market. So out of the top 20, Ohio does have two. And same thing, not that Akron's terribly close to Cleveland, but you could see that these are actually very hot markets still. So going to my little spreadsheet here of what I have, I also have data broken down by the areas that I serve most. So that's going to be based on these following school districts. I have Medina, Brunswick, Strongsville, Westlake, Parma, Berea, Lakewood, Rocky River, Wadsworth, Columbia, as in Columbia Station, Buckeye, Highland, Revere, and Cloverleaf. And you could see that I'll kind of skip past this. This is just the home sale data. But right now we are projected to have about 8,400 total sales for the year, which is by far the lowest that we've had in any of the previous 5 years. And it's actually down over 10% from 2021. So Yes, interest rates have been rising, and that's kind of crushed demand, or yeah, demand. But we have also seen far fewer listings and far fewer sales, which has crushed the supply side. Which is why I think that home prices are still staying strong. And I can't just base it off of what I'm seeing anecdotally, but I actually like to use numbers. Next two charts are actually going to be the median days on market and the average days on market. So median and mean. And basically, as you can see here, I don't know why my computer always wants to do that. But as you can see here, when we're comparing 2022 versus 2021, we are actually seeing that every single month, basically, 2022 has sold houses quicker than it did in 2021. The only exception is June and August, which sold at a median of 6 days each, June this year and June last year, so it was the same. August was 10 and 10. And finally, in September, the last full month's data that we have, it went from 14 days for the median days to sell in 2021 to 15. So hardly anything to really write home about. If we go to average days on market, so the mean as opposed to the median, which I forgot to change that little verbiage in here, you could also see when we're comparing 2021 versus 2022, 2022 has sold faster in every single month, with the exception of August, which went from 22 days in 2021 to now 23 days this year. And in September, that leveled back off. They're both at 26 days for the average days on market. So that is that's just going to show that we are not really seeing a lot of these headlines. I saw one for, it was, I can't remember if they were San Francisco or LA, where they said their average days to sell doubled from last year. And obviously, we are not anywhere close to that right now. And then lastly, just showing you the average home price data, we have yet to see a decrease for the average home price for year over year data. So last year, in all of these school districts right here, the average home sold for $260,000 in September. This year, it sold for $300,000. In August, it was $285,000 versus $310,000. And then in July, it was $272,000 in 2021 versus $306,000 this year. So you're seeing the percentage change all be positive for all of these areas. And that's why I said real estate is hyper local. So don't worry about hearing or seeing data saying, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Home prices are going to drop 20%. I just don't see that happening here because our supply is still so low that people still want to buy houses. And yes, while it's not realistic to see double-digit growth, nor is it healthy. So it's really not good for anybody except homeowners. But we want to see this number slow down. I'd like to see it in the single digits, but I really don't think that you're going to see home prices decrease in our area, in these A and B areas, because it still is highly desirable. Again, if you're talking about certain parts of Cleveland or Akron or like Elyria or Lorraine that are, some less desirable neighborhoods, obviously they have good ones there too. But if you're looking to buy in D grade neighborhoods, then sure, you probably won't see as much appreciation. But if you're looking to buy in A, B, and even C plus areas, I would say, you're probably in pretty good shape if you're buying in Northeast Ohio. If you have any comments or questions, whether you agree or disagree, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about the market with you, or if you just have any questions, I'd be happy to help you out too. Again, this is Caleb Barney with Russell Real Estate, and have a great day.